What's going on, YouTube fam? Today we got the Mikuni. We're gonna put that on, and I'm gonna show you guys every step of the way. We were gonna do it outside, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. So yeah, we're gonna do this inside the garage today, and we're gonna start right now. All right. So airbox first. We get those loosened and off. All right. All right. Come on. There we go. 1 and 2. There we go. Alright, I like to get this guy out of the way. Push that up. There we go. Alright, now, gas line. I wanted to show you guys a little trick with this. I've seen a lot of people like putting screws and stuff in here. That really doesn't work because the fuel just goes around the threads on the screw and just starts leaking out. So you'll have a fuel leak if you use the screw to put inside the gas line. So we're going to show you something else, like a better way to do it. Alright, I just want to show you guys this. I have my throttle cable hooked up to the original governor arm that's right there. So I'm just going to push that a little bit. Get that off. Alright, now this, don't go from this side like this and try to wiggle it. Go from the top. Squeeze it, push down on the hose, and just kind of turn a little bit. Pull up as far as you can. There we go, that should be out of the way enough. And then now, take your needle nose, just pull up on it a little bit. And now I can actually grip it all the way with the needle nose. And now just give her a little wiggle. And she's off. And it's not leaking. My add-on piece right here. If you got one of these, shove it in there. I've done this about 4 or 5 times, so I know it works. And just make sure you got it all the way as far as it'll go. And then tuck that up. Boom. Now that's out of the way. Alright, now take that bad boy off. A little plate. Now you got your carburetor off. You can do these bolts, which you just put two of your 10 millimeters that were on each one of these, and just put one on backwards, and then put one, after you screw it down a little bit, put another one on and screw it in, and then tighten them down on each other. After you tighten them down on each other, you want to get the back one and loosen it, and it'll turn this whole stud. Alright, now that I got the studs out, take this bad boy off. I won't need that anymore. Alright, now I'm just going to loosen up the bracket for the cable. Alright, now that I got that cable off, I got to figure out some way to attach this to my Mikuni carburetor. Alright, so let's look at this Mikuni and see what we got. Should be a spring. Yeah, there we go. Pull the spring out. It does have a little rubber gasket. Always make sure it has all the parts it needs. And inside there. There we go. See that little slot on the right side? And you see that little piece of metal sticking out? That's where that slot goes down. And now we have this. And it has the needle inside of it. And I don't know if you can see. Let's see if I can get the focus. Alright, inside there's some little hashes. and it'll give you more or less fuel to air ratio. And mine is set on, looks like it's set on the 4th one, which is exactly what I wanted. I didn't want it, usually it's set on the 2nd mark up on those threads right there. It's usually on the 2nd one, but this one's all the way on the 4th one. And yeah, so I don't have to do anything to this. There's all kinds of videos that shows you how to do it, but basically there's like a little clip, C-clip or whatever you want to call it, and you just pop that little C-clip off and push up, and it'll slide. You can slide it out and put it on a different setting if you want. But yeah, this one looks pretty good. Now, this slot's actually where the cable is going to go, and that's where the end of it's going to go. My cable does not have an end on it like that. See? So I'm going to have to figure out a way to put a little stopper on the end so that it doesn't slide all the way through and it can pull up on the carb. So it can pull up on this bad boy right here, the cylinder, and let air and gas through. So yeah, basically the cable slide into there. Whoops. There we go, like that. And then when you pull back on it, it'll stop right there because of the stopper. Alright, so what I decided to do, this is what I originally put on my cable so it wouldn't slide out. And it's just a little rectangle piece of metal that I found and cut out and then bent it around the cable, and then used some pliers and just kind of pinched it down. But what's kind of cool is this actually fits inside the Mikuni and actually stops. Here, flip it around so you can see it. But yeah, if I put it in there like that, it fits in there. I mean, yeah, it sticks up a little bit, which I can trim it if I got to, but I think that'll work out. So I'm going to go ahead and try that and then come back and show you guys how it worked out. And maybe you can do the same thing if you don't have the same throttle cable set up. Or if you have like an extra bicycle laying around, maybe pull the brake cable off of that and see if it'll fit on here. Alright, so now we know that this piece is going to fit inside here on the back of that hole. Now that we know that, we can go ahead and set this up and get this cable through the top. There it goes. Well, it looks like that's not going to be long enough cable to run that. Okay, I ran into a problem. This is too short. Cable's way too short. So I figured take the clip off of this and pull the cap off and use a washer, which I did, it's right there. Put the washer on, stuck this through, put it on the little cylinder, and put it on here and screwed it down, and it stuck out. It looked like it was going to be sitting on full throttle, which we don't want. And yeah, I could have went out and bought, you know, a new cable or ordered a new cable specifically for this, and a lot of people do that, but some people don't, and I'm one of them. And sometimes you need a video to help you out in those type of situations, and this might be one of them if I can figure this out, which I got a little light bulb going on, and I'm thinking about just cutting this down and pulling it off the cable just so I can have enough room, and then using that same washer that I was using, and it should work. If not, I can always try to pull this off, before I cut it, and then cut it down and then crimp that back on, and that way my cable will be long enough. Hopefully we're gonna try it out. Alright, sorry guys, this is gonna be a long video, but hey, I gotta do what I gotta do to get this figured out and maybe to help you guys out. So I finally got that piece off of the end, and all I used was a lighter, and I just put the lighter on the end of this. I didn't go anywhere near the actual rubber part of the cable, and I probably held it on there for about 10 seconds, and I started to kind of smell the rubber burning, so I knew that it was melting inside. So I just grabbed it with the pliers and pulled really gently, and it came off. And then I pulled a little bit of the rubber out off of it, and I didn't want to do too much, but you can see the cable inside there. So now basically I'm just trying to guesstimate how much room I'm gonna need, and I don't want to do too much. So I figure when the slide is all the way down, that cable should be about right at the end of it after the cylinder slide is down. Let's see if I can, there we go. That's just a guesstimate. We'll see how good it works. I'll just go ahead and put the little pin on the end of it and pinch it down and throw her in there and see how it works. Alright, I wanted to show you guys what I did real quick. I found these heavy duty butt connectors, and what I did was I took a butt connector and then my dikes or clippers, whatever you want to call them, and just kind of cut around it and just rotate it as I cut, slid the shell off, and then yanked this out, and there's actually a little piece that connects to this, and it's about as long as from here to here, that little missing piece. And it's not completely cylinder, it has like a little, here I'll show you, it's this piece right here. There we go, right there. And I was able to pry that open and wrap this around the cable. But I'm going to show you real quick. There we go. Alright. So I wrapped that piece originally that I was talking about around there. And then I wanted to show you how long the cable was. That way you guys get a good idea of how much cable. It stops right here behind this piece. That way you guys can get an idea of how much cable you're going to need if you're trying to do this by yourself and not buy a cable and all that. So yeah, it's about almost as long as the spring. Yep, it's about the same length as the spring. And I put it together and pulled the throttle, and it worked. It went down, back down all the way, and then back up. But I needed to use this washer to kind of go up against it so that the cable wouldn't slide through here. But I'm going to put this back together and show you it working so you guys know that this is actually the right way and it will work right on your mini bike. Alright, so let's put this together real quick. Go ahead and do it on camera so you guys can see. Okay, I got my washer on there. And then cap and spring. And then you need to pull the spring down. And this has got to be on there really tight, by the way, like super tight. If not, the cable will just pull on it and it'll pop right off. So make sure you pinch those down, put it in a vise, whatever you got to do. Just make sure it goes in there. Pop the spring in there. There we go. There we go. Got her. Make sure it's nice and tight. Now do the throttle. Alright, looks good. Now I'm going to put it on the bike and see so I can get everything hooked up. So now that I got this all set up, before I put this on, I'll always put the pipe on, the intake pipe, because if you put this on first and then put the Mikuni carb on there, you might not get it on there perfect. I mean, you could get it on there and then start tightening down and turn it just a little bit and you not know it, and it can go in there a little sideways. So I like to go ahead and put it on right now and just get it all lined up before I actually tighten it down. And then as I'm tightening it down, I can kind of look at it and make sure that the hole's like perfect. Alright, now that I got that on there straight, I'm just going to put this up here so they match the holes. And the carb looks like it's pretty straight. You definitely don't want it sideways, so the bowl leaks. So now I'm going to install that real quick. Alright, now that I got that on there straight, I'm just going to put this up here so they match the holes. And the carb looks like it's pretty straight. You definitely don't want it sideways, so the bowl leaks. So now I'm going to install that real quick. Yeah, one side goes on, the other one comes off. There we go. This is fun. It's better just to hand tighten all the way with your fingers, because If you were to do it with the Allen wrench, it would take you years. There we go. This side's tight. Now I ordered another intake pipe that goes from the Mikuni to the engine, but it hasn't come in the mail yet. But it comes out and then bends, so I'll have the Mikuni kind of like on the side, and I want to see which one has overall like better performance. So as soon as I get that in, I'll do a video on that. I just put this line that they gave me into this one and then hooked it up here, and I'm probably going to shorten it because it's too long. I just want it to go from here, arc straight from here to here. And then I have my vent, which is back behind this one. And the old Mikuni carbs, and the newer ones, this is the gas line. I saw the old videos of Mikuni carbs and looked at pictures of them and tried to hook the gas line originally to here. There was a cap on here, left that and used this for a vent, and all it did was flood it and it all just came out the, so that wasn't good. So I hooked it up here, and these two are just my vents that I just hooked up there. And now I have an open spot here, so I'm going to take this breather hose from here, hook it there, and probably either that or take a piece from here and put it on there. And then I was going to use this, but it's really hard to put on there. They're like exactly the same size, so that's annoying. But I have this one. It's like an airplane turbine style, which actually kind of looks cool. It matches all my other chrome stuff. Tri-pipe. Yeah, so I'll stick with the chrome and just go ahead and use this piece for the hose. That way the little breather has something on it. So I went ahead and shortened the gas line so it doesn't stick out so much. And then this, I just put a piece of that foam in there. It's a little breather. Where release crankcase pressure. And then this, I extended this so that it can go further down, so I can move this down so this goes kind of more even instead of like bowed out. It can drip out gas if it needs to. It won't sit here and just collect. So yeah, all I gotta do is put this bad boy on now. Come on. That should do it. It's not going anywhere. And that's everything. You got your two breathers. You got your crankcase breather tube. I have a little, I think it's 12 millimeter, 13 millimeter breather. It's like kind of like this one in a way, but more like this one. Shrunk down, but it's chrome like that, so they'll all match. But that's how I put mine together. I'll let you guys hear it tomorrow morning. I'll fire it up and do a little video so you guys can hear what it sounds like and see how the Mikuni runs. I got a GoPro on my helmet, so I'll use that. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Psych. I'll fire it up for you guys so you can hear it. See, that's where I put the cable. Comes like almost exactly straight down. Alright, let's see what she sounds like. Jesus, this thing's loud. Thanks for watching, guys.